well, the computer's back up and running. And you might see this and be like, well, where's the content? Don't worry, don't worry. I'm working on stuff. I'll say this, going forward, things are going to be just a wee bit different. Like I'd already talked about, yeah, we're going to be making some changes on the channel. And I'll be honest with you, here in the last probably month and a half, the amount of creators I've seen, and not just reactors, but reactors are who I specifically pay attention to. But there's also people outside of the reaction community who have been hit with like invalid traffic. And like my numbers, since November of last year, my numbers have been down by about 70 to 90%. Now, granted, here in about the last 2.5 months, things have started on that gradual incline, so it's not quite as severe as it had been. But there's a lot of channels that, like Mr. L. Boyd, he's just took it and been demonetized and now remonetized. He was supposed to be demonetized until February, and so many of his supporters took and reached out. We're like, hey, this is wrong, and this is bullcrap. We're not going to take it, blah, blah, blah. And, you need to look at his stuff, and he's not taking they went on a campaign, apparently, with emails and messages to YouTube, and luckily, he's been remonetized. One of the channels I greatly enjoy and have greatly enjoyed, Cliff Beats, he just, yeah, they've been down on him so much, and it's crazy because this cat was at like 20,000 subscribers at one point, and then he gained a ton. Like he's over 100. He's at over 200,000, but he gained over 100,000 in like a very short time frame. But he's good at doing reactions. He's very genuine. He's very authentic. He's his last video, or his videos for the last month and a half have just been. He went up to Google and they were like, yeah, YouTube is definitely, it seems like, targeting your channel. So it's crazy. It's very much crazy to take and see this kind of stuff happening. LFR family, they've had to take and change how they're doing things. So, and people can say what they want. Oh, you're just, that video for Evil Dead, that took, let's see, an hour and a half movie took 6 hours. My Doctor Who videos, hour-long video, take me about 3 hours to edit. The only videos I no longer edit on the channel are still game. I don't do a whole lot of clip reactions, or I hadn't been doing a whole lot of clip reactions on the channel still. Although last week I did do some. But I've went more the very much longer form type stuff. And there's a reason for that. I'm able to take and actually edit more. Actually able to edit more. And I'm going to be taking and adding a wrinkle to what I already do as far as things are concerned. Still game is not going to be affected by this. We've got, let's see, starting season 5. We've got season 6, and then 7 through 9. They're going to be on Patreon because they're hard blocked on YouTube. I'm not sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry at all that I'm putting those on there. Nobody but me has to deal with the stuff that goes on with this channel behind the scenes. And there's so many people that take offense, it seems like, to a lot of stuff because, oh, you just sit and watch a video. And if it was just that simple. So going forward, even with the Doctor Who, and y'all get, my plan is at least by Thursday, y'all will have Doctor Who. All right. We're going to start doing a new thing where we start basically putting things on a tiered system, whether it be a movie, and you're going to take and get at least one movie a week. And then outside of Doctor Who, at least one show, like outside of Doctor Who and Still Game, either a show or might get 2 movies a week, might take and get a show. But this is how this is going to work. Be doing a tiered system, so everything is going to be put in a tier, S tier to F tier, you know, top to bottom. And it's going to be rated against what I've seen personally, and also what's considered the greatest in whatever specific niche. So, we all know Doctor Who's an S tier sci-fi show. I mean, hell, it's been going since the 60s, basically, on and off. So, we already know it's S tier as far as sci-fi. But now, that season, how does the season stack up? Now, compared to what I've seen, season 1 was amazing. But then again, that's kind of just where I started at with Eccleston. Season 2, I don't find season 2 as good as I found season 1. But supposedly, everything's supposed to be going crazier. Like, way better writing and everything. So, season 3, where's season 3 going to... And maybe that's not correct. Maybe season 2 was better than season 1. I just like Eccleston, even now, a little bit better than Tennant's Doctor. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. You can get the S tiers and stuff like that of Doctors. So, season 3, how is it going to stack up? How does the episode stack up? How does it take and go plot line wise? Is it going to be a 2-parter? We're going to be digging into more stuff, so that way I get more of the transformative nature. So some of the editing might be quite a bit different than what we've seen on the channel. And I'll be honest with you, this is probably going to create some more work for me, but at the same point in time, the more I do it, the quicker I'll get, so the more efficient, and then at some point, the more I'll be able to do, maybe. But as far as this channel is concerned, that's the route we're going to take and go, because I've got to take and start making stuff that is transformative enough to ensure the longevity of this channel. Because it's either that or I'll become a Rust and Daisy and other video game type channel, and I don't want to take and do that. As much as I enjoy those types of games, this right here is what I love to do. That being said, now if you do want to take and see clips, because a lot of folks have been like, well, why don't, a lot of folks I'm sure will wind up commenting something about, why don't you take a look at more Two Ronnies, or like, I've still got to finish The Worm That Turned, and I've got some other stuff to finish, or I've got some other stuff that folks would like me to look at, but I'm not doing any more of the clip stuff like that on the channel, I think, going forward. It's just because that adds into the reuse stuff. That adds into something they can hit me with, and I'm not willing to risk that no more. It's just too much stuff, so I'm going to try something going forward. And I'm gonna tell you right now, after I'm done with Still Game, the next show that takes this place will not be a UK show, more than likely. Now, once Doctor Who's finished, we'll probably replace it. But and let me preface this by saying, just because it will not a UK show will not replace it, doesn't mean that in the interim we won't be looking at another UK show. So one of the shows I bring up, because this is how the shows are going to take and go outside of Doctor Who and Still Game. The way I'm going to be looking at shows is first episode. How does it rank as a first episode? Does it catch your attention? Or is it a slow burn? Does it build proper suspense, or a proper, if it's a type of show that's like detective or something like that, does it build proper suspense? Otherwise, does it lay a good foundation for future episodes, or maybe they missed the mark a little bit? So there's a good chance that you'll take and get two or three episode block of a show, and we take and go through, and each episode is rated on that scale. And after the first season, if it don't stack up, we just won't continue it on here or on, and I won't continue I won't put it on Patreon no more neither, just because it doesn't stack up. Patreon, I do have the exclusive stuff that I'm doing for them. Which, y'all, till the end of this month, trust me, I'll be trying to jam y'all with stuff. But this is something that I feel I need to take and put out, because as frantic as I might sound and as disjointed as I might sound while I'm trying to bring this across, I'm still going to be doing reactions. That's the main thing I want y'all to know. There's a lot of stuff that's been happening on YouTube, but I'm still going to be doing reactions. That's just how I present them from now on. Outside of still games, going to be different, man. And it's got to. You got to do stuff. I think you've got to take and either try to get ahead of the curve, or you've got to take and try to create the curve. Just as long as you don't fall behind the curve, because this go around, I think if you fall behind the curve, your channel's at risk. And I ain't willing to do that. So, it's just something I've built from the ground up. There's a reason why you haven't seen me talk politics or look at politics style videos outside of like the Troubles and I've looked at one video, if I'm not mistaken, on the Troubles. One. And then Celtics versus Rangers, which is not even really politics. It's more religious related. But still, there's a reason why I don't take a look at that stuff on the channel. It's because we've got so much division in the world, much less the country. There's so much division in the world. And all politics does is divide even further. It shouldn't matter what I think or what anybody else thinks. It's how well can we get along? How well can we love each other? Because you might believe something that I don't take and agree with. You might have a political belief that I don't agree with. But that common ground, if we can find the common ground, like, hey, look, I like to laugh. I like to smile. I like your sense of humor. I like this. I like that. That's common ground, man. And I think that's, for me, taken and God bless the channels that do look at political stuff. I've got nothing against that. I watch a couple of them. And I find their takes on stuff unique a lot of times. And that's one of the things that I like about them, is the fact that they've got a unique take that's personal to them in a lot of cases. And you've got to have that. But for me personally, I can't take and do something like that because I don't want to divide. So we won't be going down that route. Outside of that, the only other thing I can think of is, okay, let's put a wrinkle on stuff. Let's try to do something. Let's put a wrinkle on stuff. That's how things are going to be going forward. Wednesday or Thursday, y'all should get the first Doctor Who video. Hopefully Friday, I'll have a movie. I'm going to say which one, but I'll have a movie, and I hope y'all wind up enjoying that. And then Saturday, of course, still game. At some point in time, you should have the video hopefully by Thursday for Doctor Who. Even if the video goes up, if I'm not able to take and have it up by Wednesday, look for another Rust video or another Rust live stream, because I did enjoy doing that, and I do enjoy playing that game. So yeah, that's the reason why I did this. So a weekly stream of Rust, I think, is okay on the docket, because I did enjoy that. But going forward, I definitely feel like there has to be changes made to ensure the longevity of the channel. Like I said, I also think this also, once as I get more proficient with the editing, right, I think this also opens up a lot more, stuff like Cracker to take and get reacted to, or, and if it holds up, we can go through that whole series, and then outside of that, let's say if I don't take and, it's not a UK show that follows that, but it's another show that follows it, and you wind up liking it, and for whatever reason, it doesn't wind up taking and being something that's continuing on the channel. Well, if you wind up liking it personally and it intrigues you enough, like, I want to take a look more of that, that means you found something that you want to take a look at outside of whatever my big mouth says. So that'd be another plus of it. So that's just the way I'm looking at things. It's the way I'm seeing things. That being said, hope y'all have lovely days. Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.